Hello and welcome to Unexplained Possibilities Podcast. I'm your host, Melvin the Crimson Taurus, and unfortunately, Niema can't be with me today. And get this, we almost didn't have a podcast this month, and that would have broken our little podcast streak because we had at least one every month for the past year. So that would have been a shame, and I would have been crying in the corner. But coming in to save the day and helping me out yet again is the man himself, Mr. Benny Manzo.
Hey everybody, how you guys doing?
So, Benny, thanks again. I owe you another one.
No problem, man.
And today we should have a fairly simple chat, but you know me, it's probably going to divulge into who knows what.
Yeah, let's see what happens, man. So what's the topic today?
All right, so how familiar are you with hoaxes?
Very,
Yeah, now, what about paranormal hoaxes?
very.
So it's very for both. I know the normal ones and the paranormal ones. Come on.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's what we're pretty much going to go in about today. And as many know, it's a lot of hoaxes out there. Some of them more memorable than others, and and quite possibly the first paranormal hoax would had to have been the War of the Worlds, which well, because of that, it brought us the FCC.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah,
you're in
man.
the States right now, a lot of people don't like them, myself included. Or rather, Ajit
Yeah.
Pai. So, but I don't want to get too
Oh man,
political.
just leave him alone, man.
So,
Just leave.
so yeah, we won't get too political, but if there's someone who needs to get abducted and taken away, it's definitely him.
Right.
All right, so before we jump right into it, Unexplained Possibilities has been trying out something new. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Beyond Belief, an old TV show where they would tell stories and have the viewer guess if it's real or not. But we're doing something similar to that, and it's called Too Crazy to Be True. And right now it's two episodes up. The first one was just a little test run, and then the second one is pretty much where things are legit. Benny, you heard both of them. What do you
Right.
think about it?
Well, I'm leaning more. Well, the second one to me it's a lot more believable than the first one. I don't know why. Is it because I maybe lean towards more like the alien side of things? I don't know, but I think that part two is a bit more believable.
Yeah,
You
so
know?
so you guys can know, he's referencing the second episode that we put up. It's called the Thornton Abduction, and it's about a
Right.
guy named James Thornton who was abducted by aliens. And I tell a little bit of info in it, and it could be true or it could totally be made up. I'm not saying just yet. And Benny,
Right.
your vote is in that it is true.
Right.
Are you sure?
Well, based on the little bit of knowledge I know, it can be true. I'm leaning more towards the truth. Yeah.
Okay, and the
Yeah.
first one, the first episode, the little test episode,
Right.
what did I call it? I think it was called the Carousel, and
Yeah.
that one, this poor
Yeah.
guy,
Poor Manuel.
yeah,
Yeah.
a night security guard at an amusement park, and he's dealing with some ghosts. So, and Benny, for that one, you're like, oh, this is fake, man. It can't be real. It can't be real. It has to be fake. I'm not going to say what it is if you guys have
Right.
not caught it. So,
Right.
go check that out. And the answer for the carousel is up as well.
Right.
But I kind of like those. They're pretty fun.
Yeah. Short and sweet, man. I always like that. Yeah.
So, but yes, you are on record saying the Thornton abduction is real.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Let's see what happens, man.
Yeah, next week we'll find out the answer.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
speaking of abductions,
Right.
there is one classic case, and he wasn't even abducted. It was more like aliens came to visit him or something like that. And I've mentioned this guy many times before, and I'm still mentioning him because he's had such an impact when it comes to the alien and UFO community. Even though his stuff has been proven time and time again to be 100% fake, a hoax, I'm talking about the man himself, Billy Meyer. Or is it
Yes.
Meir? It's weird. He has
Yeah.
he's not American, so I'm not sure if his last name is pronounced Meyer or Meir, but I'm just gonna say Meyer.
Probably near. Yeah.
Yeah, so this guy, he he shot up to notoriety because he has footage of UFOs and alien chicks and pictures and all that. And it's like, whoa, are you kidding me? And he is from Switzerland, which, I don't know too many UFO stories from Switzerland, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But when you hear something like this that's just so bizarre, and it's like, whoa, not only did he see aliens, but he has them on video or picture. It's like, no. And he claimed that his extraterrestrial encounters began in 1942 at the age of 5.
Mm.
But, now that the evidence came out that he faked a lot of stuff or all of it, it's questionable.
Yeah, it is. You start to question people.
You
I
know,
mean,
and unfortunately, that also gives a black eye to those who may have actually experienced something, but no one's
right.
going to believe them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the people like that, unfortunately, gives us a bad, a bad rep. It's just, I mean, that's the guy I just read, the guy that had the two models in there, right?
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
So,
That's all I gotta say.
yeah. Yeah, so this guy,
Uh,
he got two models, or actually, I'm not even sure they could be qualified as models, but they were a part of a troupe that was traveling around, and he
right.
paid them to pretty much pose as decent looking alien chicks.
Yeah,
Uh, I mean,
yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say.
and we know he's a fake because the two women, they straight up said and proved that it was them in the photos, and he paid us to do it. And his ex-wife actually came out and was like, nah, it's all fake. Like, that mess wasn't real at all. And
Yeah.
if you actually look at the photos, one in particular is the supposed UFO in front of a tree. The scaling is very off unless they have some Honey I Shrunk the Kid technology going on.
I mean, yeah, yeah. That's I don't know. It's yeah. He did it all bad, man. Let's face it, man. He got busted, right, man. The people managed to see. Not only that, I mean, really, just looking at a little, what is that? Like a metallic. What is that? A trash can lid on there?
Yeah, it's a trash can lid.
Oh my God, bro.
It's just shined up
Yeah,
real nice and polished.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. That's that's terrible. But, but hey, man, the people got him on it, man. But still, then he just gives everybody in the UFO community just a bad rap, man.
well, now here's the thing though. Even though
Mm,
time and time again he's been proven false and
right.
fake, there are people who still support him and believe him, and they even go so far to say that it's a government cover up and conspiracy discrediting him. What do you think about that?
Well, now, I mean, It depends, man, on the footage, man. If you can straight tell if it's a trash can lid, man, it's a trash can lid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And about his wife coming out and saying, "Hey, man, it's all fake. You know, let's check our. I don't know what are they, models or whatnot."
Yeah, they were part of a dancing troupe called,
So,
ironically enough, the Gold Diggers.
Jesus, yeah, yeah. So I mean, what do you think about that, man? I mean, what else can you say?
Yeah,
You
I.
know,
All right, but away from him though, let's talk
right?
about the the actual impact it had because like I just said a few minutes ago, it makes people who have had legit encounters just look
Right.
bad, and
Yeah,
no one's going to believe them. No one's going to try and help them. They're just like, you're crazy, man. Get out of here. And then the people who do believe him and they're supporting him, they lose their credibility.
yeah,
So it honestly is an all around sucky thing. And
yeah.
and then, could it be also that the people supporting him, maybe they don't actually believe him, but they know if they speak out against him, their credibility, well, it already takes a hit, but they'll just look so foolish and they don't want that scrutiny of the "I told you so." Could that be part of the reason why they support hoaxes?
It may be it, man. I mean, me personally, dude. That me being, somewhat a part of the UFO community, man. Somewhat. I don't think that's. I wouldn't be able to do it, dude. Even though, I mean, I just wouldn't do it, man. I mean, something like that, just like you said, it just rubs up against everybody that's around him in mass. So I'll stay away from the guy as much as I can. Don't even bury the name. Just
Bury
you
the
know,
name.
just bury the name, dude. Like just bury.
So, why would. Yeah, this is what I want to know. Why would he do something like this? Do you think it's just to get attention?
Yeah, yeah. Get attention, dude. Maybe get attention, and pretty. Yeah, he just did it for the attention, dude. He did it for the attention, and pretty much, just to get people going. That's a lot of hoaxes, man. I mean, shoot, at one point they were saying mermaids were around in mass. Do you believe that? Just
Oh,
to get it out
you know what?
there.
I mean, maybe a long, 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 very long time ago, but certainly not in the
Yeah.
modern era.
Nah, nah, man. I mean, well, I think that was a hoax, right? And that made it mainstream to where, everybody, like, I think they even had a show on the History Channel. Was it in the History Channel or
Oh, you're talking about the Animal
full?
Planet. The
Was it on
Animal
that? Was it in
Planet.
the Animal Planet?
Yeah, and people, they thought it was real. This is actually one of the more
Yeah,
recent big ones, but the guys from
yeah,
Animal Planet, they did say, like, hey,
yeah.
don't take this seriously.
Oh, people really did believe it though, man. Like
Yeah.
I at one point, man, before um me figuring this out, man, I was into it. I'm like, oh man, this may be real. But then you start digging into it, and you're like, oh man, come on, bro. Why?
Yeah, and is that why people just go for hoaxes? Like, you just want it to be real so badly.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's why I brought. Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's I don't know.
you just want it to be real so badly. You don't care. I mean, perhaps that's a little bit of innocence in us where we still want to
Yeah,
believe in magic and
right.
maybe fairy tales do exist and all that stuff. Maybe it's just the last little bit of innocence and we don't want to see it crushed.
Right.
That's the only thing I can think of because every ounce of logic you kind of just toss out the window when it comes to certain
Yes.
things.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
shoot. Yeah, I mean, but I mean to be honest, that show had me going, dude, until I started researching it, like going into it, man, and looking at it, and I'm like, man, you guys just did me bad, man. Like you guys just messed me. Yeah, man.
They did.
No, I really did watch it, dude. I watched the second part. Like it was a long documentary. It was two parts of that thing, and I watched both of them. And then a few months later, I found out that was going on. I'm like, man, you guys suck. Like you guys suck. You guys suck.
Hey, don't get it. They did say like, please don't take this serious. They did say that.
Oh, they did, man. But I didn't catch it. You see, when I started watching it, man, I think my sister was watching it. Somebody was watching it. And then I sat down and was watching it. And I'm like, oh, man. You know? Like, shoot. And I think in the second part, they had like footage. They brought some people from, I think, Iceland or something like that. And so they had it all down and messing. Like, oh, man, bro. This is good, man.
It has to be real. There's something to this. Oh,
yeah, man. So I'm like taking it back to me here, man. I mean, I guess that's why, man.
yeah.
Like try to rile people up, man. It may work, you know.
Well,
Shoot.
lesson learned for everyone. You know, even though it's fine believing in whatever you want to believe in, but you still have to keep some type of skepticism so you don't go overboard, which is why I always say skeptics are important, but their refusal to admit and accept something is just sometimes just you want to hit yourself over the head with a hammer. It's like, guys, come on, you saw this with your it's swamp gas. That's what it is. Like, God,
That's what
darn
it is, man.
it's a weather balloon. A weather balloon, really. A weather balloon that's going side to side, up and down, and glowing.
Circular everywhere. It's just everywhere. It appears and then reappears, and you know, it's a weather balloon.
It's a weather balloon.
Wink. You know, just God damn it! I swear to God, like, yeah, man.
So I guess you could say skeptics stop being so closed-minded. And believers, stop being so freaking open-minded because you want something so badly.
Yeah.
And you know who are really good at pulling hoaxes, and you really have to watch yourself? YouTube. People on YouTube. Those freaking YouTubers, man.
Yes.
Some of them are good. Some of them not so much. And some of them, they just do mess to get money, which I don't particularly care for. I mean, you know, if you could get paid and you're able to take advantage of something and it's not hurting anyone, go ahead. I have no issue with that. But if you see a niche area and you jump in and you're playing off of people's ignorance or whatever, I have an issue with that. One particular guy being Lance Stewart. And I mean, he has like 3.8 million subscribers. I very much doubt he will ever see or hear this podcast, which is fine. And even if he did, he'd be like, who's this Crimson Taurus guy, man? I could squash him, like, whatever. So that's fine, you know, that's no big deal. But, and I bring Lance Stewart up because a couple of months ago, I don't know what I was doing. I think I was just on YouTube looking for different Ouija board videos for some research, and I came
there
across,
he was.
Yeah, I came across his mess. I was like, what the? And it was kind of freaky. I was like, good Lord, whoa. And Benny, you and I were talking about this earlier, how when you casually view something, you know, your sensors they're not all the way up, and you're just like, whoa, did that just really happen? And then, you know, when you're interested in that type of stuff, you look at it several times, and then you start noticing little things. And it's always the little things. It's never big things. And it's like, hey, wait a second, something's wrong here.
Yeah.
And Lance Stewart, I give him credit because he's very good at what he does, at least in regards to that Ouija stuff. I haven't seen any of his other videos. I refuse to watch his content. He's kind of comes off like a wiener, but
yeah.
I mean, like, come on, the dude drives an RX-8. Like, really?
Oh man.
Like the most temperamental car ever.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's the car guy in you
it's
going
just all bad. That's just bad. Yeah, man.
but yeah, so he has this Ouija thing, and apparently some evil spirit came out, which isn't unheard of. If you guys know, I've had Darren Evans on, and we talked about that mess, so not unheard of. But what is unheard of is all of a sudden everyone's starting to get possessed, and him.
Oh man.
Like him getting possessed and rolling back his eyes and stuff, and you know, it's like, are you kidding me? And then cabinets and mess randomly falling off camera, you know.
Damn, that's pretty bad.
And then here's my other thing. Here's the other thing. Why would stuff suddenly happen when you're filming, and yet you never capture it on film?
Yeah.
You know, it's just so weird to me. And you know, ghosts over there allegedly writing "Go Die" and all that stuff. You know how much energy it takes for a ghost just to make a thump? I very much doubt they're gonna write "Go Die."
Oh man, that's bad, dude.
So,
That's pretty bad. Like, I had stuff happen to me, man, and it wasn't like that bad. You know,
no, I mean, it's like,
no, there's no way.
It just doesn't happen. And then there is a video out there that really exposed him and called him out, where scene for scene he copied something from Paranormal Activity, and it was like him getting dragged out of the bed and mess.
Ah, heck, man. Yeah. Yeah, that's no way, dude. There's no way that I mean, I haven't heard. I had stuff happen to me, man, and the worst that's ever happened to me at one point, man. Me and my one of my exes, man. We were watching a film in Maz, and the next room, I think there's like a little hallway, and there's like a bedroom, you know, and her and her friends, man. We were watching the movie, man, where, you know, where it's Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, all the action heroes were on there, man.
You're talking about The Expendables?
Yeah, we were watching that. So I have her head on my lap. I'm sitting down, and we just hear, like, you know, like little giggling going down, like in the hallway and by the room. And I'm like, man, I didn't make nothing of it, man, because that wasn't our house. That was her friend's house in Mess, right?
Yep.
So we hear that sound, man, and it's like, I didn't think, again, I'm not thinking nothing of it, because I'm thinking, man, their kids are probably playing in the room or whatever, man. And so I just let it go, man. But then all of a sudden, the girls just started freaking out, man. They knew they didn't have kids, right? There's no kids in the house, right?
Yeah.
So they start freaking out, like, man, everybody starts screaming. Then I jump. They're scared me. You know, they're the ones that scared me and shit. So, man, I get up. You know, and then me being the man, you know, me and this other guy, man. This guy towered me at probably 6'3". I'm the short guy, man. I'd stand at 5'5", man. So I'm like, man, forget it, man. I gotta toughen up, man. I'm gonna go down that hallway and see what the hell's going on, right? Dude, as soon as I'm halfway down the hall, man, you just hear a loud scream, and it was the girls, dude. Just I just booked it out, dude, because of them. Like,
because of them. Yeah, right.
Yeah, because of them. They're the ones that freaked me out more so than the little giggling I heard down the hallway in Mass.
Man, forget that. I wouldn't.
But I can 100% say there was no kids in that house, though. No kids at all around in the house. Nowhere. You know, no cats, nothing. It's just. You know, but they're the ones that got me scared, because, you know, I was already walking in there all tense, like, you know, and then I walked out, and, you know, I heard the screaming, and I just booked it, dude. Just boom.
I would not investigate, man. That's some Scooby-Doo mess. Forget that. Let's solve the mystery. No, let's get out.
My girlfriend was in front of me, man. What was I supposed to do?
I would have tossed her aside, man. Forget that.
I wasn't gonna wimp out. I had to go in there.
No, that's not wimping out. That's just every man for himself.
Like, man, you go in there. Like, you go in there.
Like, forget that. Like I said, man, she would have just had to toss out the way. I'm gone. So,
man, you go in there, man. Karen, go in there. Like, go in there. Yeah, man. But I was just trying to look okay, trying to
Yeah.
make it. It didn't work. It didn't work.
All right. So back to Lance Stewart, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
so yeah. So this guy, like I was saying, he stole a scene from Paranormal Activity, gets drug out of bed and mess, and it looked
yeah.
very convincing, extremely convincing, except for it's legit frame by frame from Paranormal Activity, and if you zoom in just enough, you can actually see where the string is on his sock and stuff that pulls him.
Oh my god.
That was the only mistake, really. But and it's also, I think, part of the green screen actually cuts out. But for the most part, like, it was good, and people fall for it hook, line, and sinker. And I think my major issue with him is he didn't come out and admit to it just like being fake or anything. And he actually made a video where he pretended like he was going to address this, and he did not. And just basically still going on like all this mess is real and stuff. It's like, are you kidding me? You're being haunted by a Ouija ghost that you never seem to capture any of what it does on camera, and it only seems to do stuff when the camera is rolling. Like, get out of here with that, man. If you're gonna do something and you do it that well, and just tell the truth. Just say, hey, this is for entertainment. It's not actually
Oh
real.
man, trust me, I, dude. If that was me being haunted like that, man, again, bucket, like it's done, dude. Put him in the middle of Stardust Ranch and have him, do something.
Man, forget that, man.
That's like, yeah, let's see what happens.
Now, how much would it take for you to go to Stardust Ranch?
I'll do it, dude. I just wouldn't stay the night.
No, you have to
Like
stay the night. It doesn't. You
oh
have.
man, no, I'll do it. I'll do it. You don't have to pay me a dime, but I won't stay the night
No,
though.
you have to stay the night. It doesn't count if you don't stay. You can't just be there in the daylight, like, oh yeah, nothing's going on. No, you have to be there at night where things pop off, where you lose your eyesight and your other senses get enhanced, and
No
you
way.
have to.
No, I can't, man. With my anxiety, really? Nah.
You
Ain't
have
happening.
to. You can't. You
I,
can't just say. No, you have to. You have to man up, Benny. Man up.
hey, man. You gotta know when to, lose your battles and man. Just forget that.
Man, you
Like
could.
I'll do it, man. No problem. But it's gonna be. I'll go to any site, dude. It just has to be during the day, though.
No. You have to go at night. What about Goatman's Bridge? I don't think they care. I don't think whatever's over there doesn't care if it's day or night.
I'll do it. I'll do it during the day.
Man,
Like during at
hopefully
night,
you
I'm
don't
not
get
doing
choked out, man.
it. Like, ugh.
So, but yeah. Uh, Now, I'm assuming I don't know for a fact or anything. This is just me taking a guess. But I'm assuming that in Lance Stewart's case, a lot of people who watch him are younger,
Right.
like maybe early teens and 10-year-olds or whatever. And I'm not saying that as an insult to him. I just think that's the demographic because they will defend him to death. Like, it's real. It's real. You gotta call a priest, Lance. It's like, really? And if you try to tell them otherwise, man, it's they're not having it. I mean, you could literally show them the proof. Like, no, it's not real. Look, and they're like, they will deny it.
Yeah.
So, what's up with that, man? Like, is it possible that you could build a following that's just so with you that they will just never accept the truth, even though it's slapping them in the face many times over?
Yeah, I think it's very possible. I mean, who can I use as an example, man? I mean, shoot. No, I don't want to go into politics, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Okay,
And that's
so
probably the best example, though.
all right, so I mean, it's very possible. It's not. It's very doable. Like
So it's just I just don't get that. I mean, Like, darn, why are you bamboozling these people like this? And again, I still think majority of them are kids, but I don't know. I don't know the stats on his videos or anything like that, and I can't talk too much because I don't really watch the guy.
Right.
So, but whatever, it is what it is.
Right.
So, if you were gonna do a hoax on people, what type of hoax would you do?
What, like a full blown hoax,
Yeah, full
or like a
blown,
prank or something, or like a hoax, right?
like a legit hoax. You're just trying to get something over somebody.
What would I do? Mm, mm, which one would be a good one? This is good because there's so many of them, dude. Which one would you pick? Like, which one would you pick though?
Oh, me? I would go the alien route.
Alien route. You see, Harry,
Yeah,
that's yeah,
it's the easiest to do, and you don't need that much proof. That's the thing with the alien route, unfortunately, but it's true. And a lot of the stories are similar, and you could pick and choose your little background, what happened here and there, get a couple of lights, and burn some holes somewhere or something, and you're good to go.
right. There's some holes, right, man.
So
If I,
unfortunately,
I if I had to go to one of them, if I had to hoax something, what would I do? Maybe I don't know. I always found the Mothman freaking, fascinating. Even though we don't know if that's a whole. What do you think about the Mothman, Melvin?
oh, I think it's totally made up.
You think it's totally made up?
Yeah, I think it's totally made up, and I think they have it there as a tourist attraction.
Mm. Yeah, I would maybe go with the Mothman because I found it interesting, man, and the story behind it, and man, I thought it was pretty crazy. I mean, did they make a movie out of it, man?
Well,
You
yeah,
know,
but they
it
made a
was.
movie
Yeah,
about a lot of things, and not all of
yeah,
them.
no, 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 but that one's decent. Like a nice one. Maybe, yeah, the Mothman.
Now,
You
I can
know,
see why towns or whatever would actually push something like the Mothman forward because of tourism and get some extra
right,
dough going, which is smart on their part. I won't fault them for that. And as
right,
long as no one gets hurt, it's all good.
right. Because there's a lot of people. I mean, well, last time me and Rose we debated over this, but I was starting to, lean more towards, the Bigfoot being I starting to believe it a bit more.
Yeah.
But then everybody does Bigfoot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Unfortunately for Bigfoot.
Yeah. Poor
Yeah.
guy.
Now, I don't know if you remember this. I remember this because I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, is this real? And this is one of the few hoaxes that people they didn't know what to believe at the time. And
Yeah.
it's known as the alien autopsy.
Oh man, I remember that one.
And like it's right up there with the alien interview. But the alien autopsy aired on Fox so many years ago now, and it was quite literally got. It was supposed to be aliens from the Roswell crash, I believe, and they found
Yeah.
secret footage of it, and they were cutting them open and checking out the insides and stuff. And they didn't say it was a hoax. They passed it off like it was real and aliens are real. Roswell happened and all that stuff. And it fooled a lot of people, scared a lot of people. Eventually, though, like Fox did say, nah, it was fake. It wasn't real. What do you think about that? Like, what
Uh,
if it actually was real, but the government said you fix this right now?
and I mean, at first when I watched it, man, I was in shock, man. And then when I did see it, I was like super young at the time, dude. Um, it could. What it could be. It could be. What do you think about the footage?
Oh, I think it's
Like,
100% fake.
what's your opinion on it?
I think it is
Right.
100%
See, at the
fake.
time, now, okay, now we do, but back at the time, I didn't do that. Again, I watched it when I was young. I was probably like what 9 years old when that happened,
Yeah.
something like 9, 10 years old, and but let's say if it was real, the government would have got on their case, you know.
But it could also be one of those things where don't say anything.
Right.
It's no need to say anything because it's so unbelievable. Even though
Yeah.
it's real, no one's gonna believe it.
Right.
So,
Right. It could be, man. Our big brother got to him.
uh, so, so I don't know either or, but that was crazy footage. I mean, and that was sort of reality found footage type thing happening there too. It's just so freaky how the alien looked and the guys in the suit and everything. Like I want everyone after the show, after you're done listening, or maybe even open another tab or something.
Right.
Look up Alien Autopsy on YouTube. It should be on there. And you guys, man, let us know how freaky that thing is. I mean, I could see
Yeah, man.
why people would think it's real because it looks too good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. From back when that thing first came out, man, that was like, how can I put it, man? Like cutting edge, like man, like oh man, this is really happening. When people,
Oh,
you got to remember this has been a while since this happened, dude. So, but now it's like okay, I don't know what to make of it, anymore, man. Because maybe if it was real, totally, they got they got a little finger wagging at them, man, and we don't know what to make of it no more. I don't
yeah,
know what to make of
and
it.
and that's
I can't say it's fake.
like
I mean, you're saying it's totally fake,
I
right?
think I think it's 100% fake. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's real.
Well, what if it's not?
Hey, if it isn't, then holy cow! But I
Yeah,
think it's fake.
yeah. I don't know. I'll just hold the card close to my chest, man. I don't know what to make of it no more. Like I don't know. Yeah, man. Yeah.
So, what do you think about Oh, excuse me. I just belched. I hope that didn't pick up actually. That would be embarrassing.
I think.
Now, let's talk about that for a second though, because it's
Hmm.
often said the best way to hide something is in plain sight.
Right.
And now you got me thinking, what if it's real, but it's just so out there, it's fake, but it's
Right.
real? Could you imagine? Do you think that happens a lot? That there are a lot of things that people think are fake, but they are legit and they're just right in plain sight and we just can't see it?
Yeah. I totally, I think so. I mean, that's like it is the best way, man. I mean, shoot, if you tell me, it's just, I mean, at first, before I got, uh, before, like, back in the day, I was a bit more like, I was closed off, man, like, my mind wasn't just as open as it is right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think so. That's the best way. It's like, okay, a lot of people say, oh, you know what, Area 51 is not there, but then it's there, and then a lot of people like, oh no, they moved it somewhere else, so and then since we can't get in there, we don't know what the hell's going on. You
Yeah,
know what I
which
mean?
is which is messed up. It's like our tax money goes to this and we can't even go there. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like
Damn.
I'd be
Gotcha.
so heated. I mean, if the tax money didn't go to that, I really wouldn't care. But it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Freaking
That's unfortunate.
freaking
That's
government. Urgh.
don't say that. Like, don't say it.
Don't do that. Um,
Yeah, don't do it, man.
so I think you're gonna remember this. You might remember this, but I told you months ago about a YouTube channel I came across, and they were talking about fairies and magic and all this mess.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know.
And I don't.
Very school and
Yeah,
yeah.
fairy school. That right there, like
Oh
fairy school.
man.
Really, you know. I don't know if they're trying to pull a fast one on people, because the only one they're fooling would be legit little girls.
Yeah.
And and normally I wouldn't care about something like that. It's like, okay, you go ahead with your fairy school and all that, but they tell people how to do magic allegedly, and I know channels similar to what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say the names, but Benny,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're
It's
talking about.
anyway, the little magic, it's a mermaid spell or something. It resulted in the death of a little girl and stuff. And it's like, are you kidding me?
Wow. Are
Yeah,
you serious?
yeah. Like
Damn.
this wasn't.
I didn't follow it up, man. I mean, I remember it.
No. This wasn't from the two idiots that I'm talking about. This was from a channel that was similar
Oh,
in
okay.
doing what they were doing. So not them, but yeah, it resulted in the death
Okay.
of a little girl talking about, I'm a mermaid, and she literally never came up from under the water.
Uh,
And
that's sad, man.
it is. And this is one of those gray areas where it's like, okay, like I don't think you're trying to hoax anyone, but at the same time, if you truly believe this, you got to give some warnings or something. Like there's something off. There's a disconnect somewhere where
Yeah.
either you're doing this for attention and you don't actually believe it, you just want some attention, or you do believe it
Right.
and you legit think you went to fairy school and can do magic and all that. And there are consequences to saying stuff like that, because you become influential, and your influence
Right.
affects other people who aren't just developed mentally, and it could cause some serious harm.
Yeah, man. That's bad. You know.
Yeah, and that's where I'm stuck at, because it's like, man, can I really get on their case if they actually believe they're fairies or half fairies, can change into fair whatever, or are they actually hoaxing people? I mean, when I heard them say they went to fairy school, I lost it. I was like, are you kidding me? In Florida, that's where fairy school
Yeah.
is? The armpit of the U.S., Florida? Really? Get out of
Oh,
here.
Melvin, be nice. Be nice. Be nice, man. Like, be nice, man. All right, man.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There are nice parts
Yeah,
of
man.
Florida, but let's be real, man. Like, come on.
Be nice. I'm not getting in it, man. I'm not getting in it. I'm not- Just be nice, man. And it's unfortunate, right, man? This is unfortunate, and they should give warnings, man. And if I don't know, man, or just not drag people into their mess, man.
Yeah.
That's what I always say.
So,
You know, I don't know, man. But that's really unfortunate, man. I mean, shoot,
yeah.
never came up, huh?
So,
Wow,
I don't know what
I
to
did
say.
not know this.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm telling you,
Wow,
it's just a lot of people. Again, it goes back to, you want to believe so badly that
right,
it's gonna mess you up. And although, again, this was a little girl, so she was already
right,
into the fairies and the magic and princess and all
right,
that stuff. So it probably
right,
wouldn't have taken much, but even so, it's like, come on, man, why are you guys doing this? And then, like, to make the magic and stuff is like some glitter and it's like, what? That's
right.
not Matt. I don't think it works that way. And
So
at
let
that
them like Party City and
yeah, at that point,
I
that's
mean,
what I'm
wow.
I'm thinking to myself. I'm like, they have to be putting on an act. It is no way. Um,
I mean,
I
I think strippers got glitter on them too. I mean,
oh
shoot,
Benny,
what the hell, man? Like what?
Jesus
I mean, I'm not.
Christ.
I'm sorry, man. I'm my bad, man. But jeez, this is a serious topic, man. A girl died in this. Shoot, man.
Why are you bringing
I'm
in
just saying, like,
strippers though?
glitter, really? I'm using that as a point of what is a glitter? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say, but you went the wrong way with it.
All right, man. I'm my bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right, man. Let's get back on this. All right, let's be civil. Let's be civil. All right, man. Let's just be civil. Oh my God, this is terrible. Like this is terrible. Shoot.
Glitter,
God.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know what to think about things like that. Like I don't know if it's something they truly believe, and I don't know if it's a hoax or not. It's just one of those in between things, and
Yeah.
I happen to actually go by those channels, and I noticed this. I actually sent a very long message at the time of this, a long time ago now, and um, ever since I sent that message, not saying that I had any influence in
Yeah.
anything, but I
Yeah.
did notice that one of them stopped making videos and virtually
Right.
disappeared, and the other one made videos, but it's not that fairy stuff. So
Oh, okay.
I'm like, I'm wondering if they got the message. Because I straight up told them, I'd like to have you on my little podcast so we can discuss this.
Oh, big shoot.
And
Yeah. Well, look, man. I mean, shoot. They didn't. They're the ones that didn't get anybody hurt, right?
yeah, no, they didn't get anyone hurt, but
All right. Yeah.
it's
Let's just bring them on.
possible that they could have, because there are some other videos and they did a mermaid spell thing, and
Yeah.
there are related videos where there are little girls talking about what they said was right. I'm turning into a mermaid. Like, oh no.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so
Oh man. Yeah. And it's just all bad. I mean, it's just yeah.
but since
Yeah.
we're on the topic of
Right.
fairies,
Right.
do you remember that dead fairy hoax?
Uh, Vaguely, but
It
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was a mummified 8-inch fairy,
Mm.
and it looks really good, like extremely real, but it's not. But it
Right.
looks real. It's Let me put it this way: when I first saw it, it fooled me for a second,
Mm.
and I was like, "Is this for real? No, this can't be right." And the issue is, and it depends on what you believe about fairies and stuff, but fairies don't exactly or wouldn't look like fairies from Disney. I don't believe.
Yeah. Like Tinkerbell.
Yeah,
Like Tinker.
I could be wrong. I've never met a fairy that I know of, so I could be wrong, but I don't think they would look like Tink,
Yeah.
and I don't know how their wings would just kind of look all leafy and stuff. And
Yeah.
why would they be so tiny and mess like that? And why is there only one remains after how many years, But seeing that hoax is something special about it, because I think everyone who saw it immediately reverted back to childhood and was like, "Oh
Yeah.
my God, fairies might actually exist." And so does that mean
Yeah.
magic exists? And I could do some hickory dickory dock or hocus pocus and mess bibbity bobbity boo.
Yeah, man. It just. I mean, look what happened with me and the mermaids, man. God, was that Animal Planet again, man? Yes.
Yes, that was Animal Planet.
God darn it. Well, yeah, man. It got me for a minute, so I guess yeah.
You
You
know,
know?
it's amazing though. And the dead fairy, it was I just had a giant mind fart.
Nah, don't worry, man. I get those all the time.
Well,
Yeah, man.
anyway, the guy who did it, he did eventually fess up a few days later and was like, yeah, this isn't real. Sorry, guys. But again, I sound like a broken record, but it goes back to just wanting something to be real so badly
Right.
that you just ignore whatever logic is telling you. And but saying that though too, there are things out there we just cannot explain, and we will
Right.
never be able to explain. So maybe it's not always good following logic in certain circumstances.
Right.
Well, what would you do though if you saw a fairy like a Tinkerbell fairy?
To be honest, man, I mean, of course, I'll be kind of shocked, man, and then I would be shocked out of my mind, dude, and then I won't talk to anybody about it. Like, because people will look at me funny, man, and they're like, "Oh, man, come on."
Like,
I'll probably take it to the grave, man. That's
wow.
what I'll do.
Like,
Yeah,
he
man.
lost it. Like, this guy
Yes.
lost it.
Yeah, that's what I'll probably do, man. Because that's like, man, people will yeah, man. I wouldn't be able to take it, man. I'll think I'll probably take it to the grave, man. See, aliens is one thing, man. Everybody's starting to come around them, but fairies, I mean,
No, fairies is a different.
that's a whole nother ball game, bro. Like,
And staying on the fairy subject, are you familiar with what is considered the most popular fairy hoax?
hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, you were breaking up for a minute there. What
Oh,
was that again?
I said,
Yeah.
speaking of fairies, do you know about what is considered the most popular fairy hoax of all time? Uh oh, looks like we're having technical issues.
Yeah, a little bit.
As usual. Okay, so now I know this is definitely our podcast now. Uh,
Yeah,
but
rocket gotta own it.
have you heard of the Cottingley or Cottingley fairies?
No, no.
All right.
I'm gonna look into them now.
Yeah, it's considered the most like well, not elaborate, but it is one of the first fairy hoaxes, and
Mm,
it's one of the oldest as well, if not the oldest.
right,
And like it was by a pair of girls,
right.
and in 1917 they went out, they borrowed one of their father's cameras, and they took pictures and claimed that they caught fairies in them,
Mm,
and people went ballistic when they published the shots and everything. It's like, oh my god, there are actually fairies and stuff like that. Look at this, look at this. I mean, if you look at it now, of course you're gonna say this is so fake, but
right.
looking at it back then, it's like, oh my god, like, oh, the little girls and the fairies and stuff like that. And
Right.
this went on for a couple of years. Like, whenever
Right.
people wanted them to take pictures of the fairy, they would go out and take the pictures, come back.
Right.
I mean, it's pretty funny to me, just how people can be gullible. I don't even think it was, in this instance, it wasn't even people were trying to believe. It was just people being gullible. Because if you see
Yeah.
the pictures, all the fairies, for some reason, they appear to be two-dimensional.
Hmm.
And it's like, why,
Oh. Oh.
what's going on here? Why are they 2D?
Yeah.
So
I
then
mean,
allegedly there's a gnome in there, again, also two-dimensional. and all of the fairies and stuff, they do the same pose almost like they're dancing,
Mm.
and it's like, what's happening here?
Yeah, yeah. I think folks were just going along with it just to go along with it,
Well, no,
man.
people truly believed it. It wasn't
Really?
debunked until 1978.
Ooh,
Okay, so it went
yeah,
on for many years,
yeah.
and even now, some people still want to believe that like the fairies and the little girls were real until what's her name, Elise Wright, one of the girls who did the pictures and stuff, she
Right.
confessed and she was like, it was fake. They were just paper cutouts.
Huh.
So, but yeah,
Yeah.
it took from 1917 to 1978 to debunk
Yeah.
that.
Wow. Yeah, man. But then you also got to remember, man, the cameras back in those days to capture stuff, man. It must have been pretty.
No, I've got to link you the
You know what I
pictures.
mean?
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
it's no. This is just people being straight up gullible. Like, it,
Okay, were the pictures in black and white still
yeah,
at the time?
the pictures are in
Right.
black and white, but
Mm,
it doesn't matter. The stuff just doesn't look real. It, like I said, the fairies are all 2D. Like they only
yeah.
look one way for some reason, and it's not in a three-dimensional field. Like they just look off and out of place. I
Mm,
I mean, even if they were real, I'm fairly certain they wouldn't look like this. They look like paper to me. Like, and that could be
yeah.
because, I already know it's fake or whatever, so I'm not seeing the things other people are seeing, but the poses and the music and all that stuff, it's like, come on, guys. Actually,
Yeah.
I linked it to you on Facebook, so it's the last link I sent you, so you could just see it on there.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna totally look at it. I'm gonna totally look at it, man. But I mean, people. I mean, like, if you, I guess, like you said, man, people just want to believe, just like want to believe in it, man. That's really what drives them, man. You know, like again, me with the mermaids, man. And I don't even like mermaids, dude. I don't. It's like, man, that's not me. You know, that's not, me. If I, well, I wouldn't really want this around, man. But it's like the Mothman, and the Mothman to me just fascinates me, dude. Like just the backstory to it, and it's just so well thought off. If he's fake, man, if it's fake, yeah, they 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 did a good job on it. You know, just the backstory behind it, right? Or like the Jersey, nah, but the Jersey Devil is just too much for me. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, that's just too much right there, man. You know,
I got
yeah,
you. Like, no,
yeah,
I'm not doing the Jersey Devil. But yeah, no, it's just weird to me though. I don't, I don't want to say the people were dumber or anything like that. No such thing
no,
really. But
no,
I just don't understand how they could just fall for that. But then I
mm,
guess that's like skeptics looking at believers, like, why do they believe this is real? They're all dumb. It's like, no, we're not dumb. Just want to believe.
yeah, that's all. You know,
But it. I guess it is what it is.
right? Yeah.
Now, were you ever able to check out the Morristown UFO hoax?
Well, I'm sorry. What was that? I didn't catch you. Where you kind of,
Were you
you know,
able to check out the Morristown UFO hoax?
no.
Oh man, this one was a good one because it actually called into question the Phoenix Lights in some ways,
Oh, okay.
and the reason why is how it was set up.
Yeah.
And this happened in 2009,
Mm,
and it was several unidentified flying objects that was reported in. People took pictures of it, and it's like 5 or 6 red dots over the city, and it's like, what the heck is going on here? You know, you could see it from many different places, and it was somewhat reminiscent of the Phoenix Lights, but the difference is that the Phoenix Lights were actually moving, and these lights were stationary for the most part. And from what I understand, with the Phoenix Lights, people were actually able to see some type of craft. It was just completely dark, except for those lights, but they were able to see some type of craft. This, they just saw the lights, and that was enough. It was like, man, this is freaky. But it eventually the guys behind it, they came out and they admitted, like, hey, you know, this was just a social experiment. It's a hoax, don't worry. And they said that they did this by tying 5 lights to helium balloons. For once, it's actually a balloon.
Oh man.
And they released them above the sky in Morris County.
So now saying that, they all right. So the balloons, right? Well, thoughts were stationary, right?
Wait, say that again,
Stationary.
Benny?
They did not move at all. They were just there. No, the lights, the red lights. You said that they were stationary, right? They didn't move.
Part, they were moving. Of course, they'll move along with the wind, but it wasn't a great distance or anything like that. They were, for the most part, stationary, going up, and if the wind blew, it would go in that direction. Versus the Phoenix Lights that were steadily moving.
Right. Hey, brother, Mel. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You're kind of breaking up there.
Oh no, and the issues return.
Yeah, they returned. Yeah, but I was gonna say, maybe could have been the balloons, maybe. But then if they were stationary, more stationary, I mean, balloons move around, right? They're temperamental with the wind and mass.
Well, it depends, because it may not have been that much wind. And you got to remember, they're helium balloons too. So first things first, they're just going to go up.
Right.
So, you know, so don't take me saying stationary too deeply.
Okay.
Like, I just mean in the sense they weren't teleporting or going like super left or super right. Nothing like that.
Right. Right.
But
so.
Oh, go ahead, Benny.
No, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, I would have to look at the footage, man. But you know me, I'm more biased towards aliens now. So, but I would have to look. I would have to look at it, man, and then you never know, man. The guy, he could have got the famous finger wagging for somebody else, man. We don't know.
You're right. You never know.
We never know, man.
You never know.
You never know.
I think in this case, I think it's safe to say that this one is, although, you could try the experiment yourself. They pretty much made Chinese lanterns and just get some red lights, helium balloon, wait till it's nighttime, and go to a decent spot and fire it up.
Fire it up.
Let's see what happens. But that actually reminds me, one time I was walking down the street, and this is how easy it is. Like, when you see something you can't explain, how freaked out you get. But I was walking down the street somewhere, and it was nighttime, and all of a sudden I see all these lights. It was about 10 lights, and they were like in a row almost. And I was just like, oh my God, what is that? What is, am I seeing this? To where you have to stop. And I'm just looking at these things. They weren't really moving or anything. It looked like they were stationary. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. And then I turned to the hill and stuff because they were coming from the hills. I was like, this is
What
crazy,
the?
like But I,
Don't tell me. A roll of cars, right?
no, no, no. They were
Oh,
Chinese lanterns.
oh, okay, okay,
They were Chinese
okay.
lanterns. It was for the Chinese New Year, and they were setting them up from the hills, and it just freaked me out. I didn't know it was nighttime. I was by myself. It was dark, and you just see these lights all coming like towards you. So,
Oh man, that must have been horrifying. Like, oh man, that must have been time to drop it and just run. Like,
yeah,
not that you can run anyway. You know,
yeah. No,
at
you're
that
not
point,
getting
it
away.
just you know, I get away. Uh, uh,
But
it must
but
have been horrifying, bro.
yeah, no, that got me. But you know how you get that terror or something, that feeling down your spine and mess, and then you feel
Yeah,
it in your gut.
me running out the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
So
But I took it, man. I am, and I took it's time to go. It's go time. Man, oh man.
so yeah, that was that. That was like so I do know that if done correctly, balloons tied with lights, they will work perfect.
Yeah,
That's why I kind of believe that this was definitely a hoax. I don't think it was real and the government decided to pop in and say, hey, you saw nothing. Actually,
yeah,
you saw everything, right?
yeah,
Right. So, but man, that is crazy.
yeah,
And
man. I, wow.
now,
Like
here's
I don't know, man. I mean, that if that would have happened, seeing those roll of lights, man. Well, I don't know, man. I would have to be there in order to see what I was doing, man. Remember that time I told you when I was gonna go change my check, man?
yep.
I really wasn't freaked out. I was like, man, I really just see that, and I just had to park and think about it, though.
Yeah,
Like,
it's more
okay,
like you're in disbelief.
because yeah, yeah. So it all depends, man. It depends on the situation. That's the way all I act,
Now,
Yeah.
here's one. I'm not sure if you listen to Coast to Coast,
Hmm.
but it's like if you're into the paranormal, supernatural, that's the show you listen to. And
Oh, you did tell me about it. You told me about it once. Yeah,
yeah,
I just never been able to catch it. Yeah.
and this one is from a few years back. A lot of people know it. This is probably one of their most popular shows, and it's with. This was when Art Bell was hosting, and this guy called in. He was frantic. He was saying like he was by an alien base or some mess underground. He was running through the woods and mess like that. And he's like, "Hey man, hey, listen. All right, they're here. I saw it. I have to get away. They're coming after me right now." And like it's not what you think. They're not extraterrestrial. They're interdimensional and some other stuff. And all of a sudden everything just dies and it's like you know how back in the day on the Sega Genesis you would hit reset
Yeah.
and the logo would come up if you're playing a game. Okay, it was like someone hit reset on the studio. Art Bell said that somehow the power went out and everything died when he was speaking to this guy.
Hmm.
And it's like this has never happened before, and the backup generators or whatever kicked in, and he was like, "What the heck? That's never happened before." And he was trying to get the guy back to call back and stuff. He was like, "Hey man,
Right.
if you can, call back, please. We got to know what's going on." And
Right.
about 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, they got in contact with the guy, and this is where it gets me. The guy, he
Yeah.
said that yeah, he was totally making everything up when he called. Like he wasn't at any no, he wasn't at any base or anything like that. It wasn't any
Hmm.
interdimensional. He was being truthful. Like he wasn't lying, and he even recreated how he sounded, like he was frantic and mess. And
Hmm.
Art Bell was like, "Okay, well, what the heck happened to where the power and the satellite cut off? Like, that's never happened before. That's freaky. And this only happened when you were talking about this stuff. And there's, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's scary. Because I certainly was just having some fun. I was just trying to prank you guys. Like, I don't know what that was. And I don't know. Like, did I hit a little bit of the truth or something? Like, I don't know. You know? And Art Bell says that was real. Like, the caller was
Right.
real. It wasn't him setting up anything. Because sometimes he would set up stuff.
Right.
But
Right.
this was real, and he can't explain it. And it always left me thinking, like, whoa, did the guy actually unintentionally touch the truth of matters? And the government thought that he was legit escaping from a base or something, and they shut it down?
Yeah. I mean, again, the finger wagging. All right, Melvin, the finger wagging. And I wish I could have caught that show because you know what? I heard a similar, but this I heard in when I was in Mexico. There's a show, a radio show just like this, you know. But I could be, man. And I think no, maybe he got the finger wagging of his life, man.
I
He
don't
got it,
know.
man. I mean, no, because the power and everything went off right then and there while the guy was talking. And it's just, I don't know, man. If I was Bell, man, I'll just leave it alone.
Oh no, he's not gonna leave it alone. He would dig into it. He wants to know the truth, man. What's happening here?
I would have left it alone, dude. Like, man, just take it again. Take it to the grave. Like, take it, just take it, man. That's one of them you have to take to the grave, man. There's ones you can talk about, and that's just one where, all right. So the guy is calling him all frantic, all freaked out, telling him this, you know, and then all of a sudden the power goes out, satellite goes out. What would you do? You being the host and being, man, would you really be digging into it, knowing the stuff you know now?
Nah, you're
Would
right,
you?
man. I'd just be like, can we try
Would
and
you?
get him back and see what the heck happened? And I would probably end it at that. Maybe Art Bell was right, just dropping it after he got a little explanation.
Yes, just leave it alone, dude. You just leave that alone. Like that, you want to get the knock? You
But
want the knock, man? Hell no.
yeah,
Oh
so
man.
that's one of those examples of a hoax
Uh,
possibly leading into some truth.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, I
but
think that one because that's a you did tell me about this radio station. I've just never been able to catch it,
yeah,
but now I'm gonna catch it while I'm going to sleep at night. For some reason, I like watching paranormal stuff when I'm going to sleep, and that's for whatever reason.
huh.
I
Well,
don't know, kind of weird.
hey, I
It's weird.
mean, whatever.
It's weird.
Just do you, I guess.
Yeah, man.
So, but I'll link that little part of the episode to you so you can hear it, man, because
Yeah, yeah,
it is pretty weird. That got me. That's something I will never forget.
yeah, dude. It's after we're done with this, I'm gonna have to talk to you about this other show I heard, man, because this has nothing to do with this topic,
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get into it, man. But yeah, man, that's the best thing he could have done is well, he did. I guess he left it alone. The guy knew not to talk about it, just leave it alone, you know.
Yep. So,
Yep.
and you know what? I think this is a good place to end it.
All right.
All right. Hey, Benny, thanks again for coming on. Appreciate
All
it.
right, bro. No problem, brother. Whenever.
So I hope everyone enjoyed who's out there listening. I enjoyed, even though I'm a bit like stuffed up in my nose right now, but I still enjoyed. And
Yeah.
you guys, don't forget to follow Unexplained Possibilities on Facebook and Twitter, and be sure to check out Too Crazy to Believe. It's
Right.
right now it's 2 episodes posted up on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, and I think you all will like it and just have fun, play along, and you never know, you might
Right.
win something from guessing correctly. Wink, wink.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Benny, once again, thank you so much for coming on.
No problem, brother. No.
And with that said, remember, guys, there are things that go bump in the night. Go ahead and tell them hi. Bye, everybody.